My 47-year-old brother threw himself on the floor crying because I wouldn't give him my lottery winnings. Keith is 47, lives in our deceased mother's basement, and has been about to make it big for 25 years. First, it was his band that only played 2 gigs, then his food truck that never got permits, then cryptocurrency poaching despite losing his own savings on some coin with a dog logo. I'm 39, work at a water treatment plant, and live in a boring townhouse with my boring wife and our boring paid-off Honda. Keith calls us NPCs, video game characters with no personality, says we're wasting our lives not taking risks. 3 weeks ago, I won $30,000 on a scratch-off. Not life-changing money, but enough to finally fix our foundation issues and maybe take a real vacation. I made the mistake of telling Keith when he called asking for gas money. 30,000? Bro, that's our seed money. Our? For the escape room business. Remember? We talked about this. We'd never talked about this. Keith had mentioned it once at Thanksgiving while drunk, along with his 17 other business ideas including renting chickens to people and selling custom fortune cookies with savage messages inside. I told him I was using it for house repairs. He hung up. 20 minutes later, he's at my door with a whole PowerPoint on his phone, literally swiping through slides about Keith and Rob's escape experience, with logos he made on some free website. The last slide was his Venmo QR code. I just need 15,000. You keep half? I take half. Fair. Keith, that's my money. Our money. We're brothers. My wife Sandra came downstairs. Everything okay? Keith immediately turned to her. Sandy, tell him about family loyalty. You get it. Sandra, who Keith once called aggressively mediocre at her own birthday party, just stared at him. The man who borrowed our lawnmower and sold it needs a lesson on loyalty? That was a misunderstanding. I told him to leave. He said he wasn't going anywhere without his investment capital. I had to physically walk him to his car while he kept shouting business terms he clearly didn't understand. You're destroying our synergy. This is bad ROI. Think of the tax implications. That weekend, Sandra and I went to Chili's for our anniversary. Nothing fancy. We're boring, remember? We're halfway through our Southwest egg rolls when I hear Keith's voice. He's at the host stand with our cousins Brenda and Paul, pointing at our table. They walk over like an intervention. Rob, Brenda starts. Keith told us about the situation. What situation? Keith jumps in. How you're hoarding lottery money that could help the family. 30,000 isn't hoarding money. See? Keith shouts loud enough that other tables turn. He admits he has it. Paul tries to play mediator. Maybe you could loan him just a little. I loaned him 2,000 last year for his protein powder business. Still waiting on that. Keith's face goes red. That's different. The FDA shut me down. You were repackaging GNC protein in your garage. That's when it happened. Keith, at 47 years old, in full view of maybe 40 people eating dinner, dropped to his knees in the middle of Chili's. Why won't you help me? Then he laid down, completely flat on his back, right there on the commercial carpet between tables. Started rolling back and forth, actually wailing. Not crying, wailing. Like a toddler who'd been told no candy. I've never asked you for anything. Sandra started recording. You've asked me for money 80 times. I shouted back, which wasn't my best moment. The manager appeared. Sir, you need to get up. Keith grabbed the manager's leg. Actually grabbed it. Tell my brother to stop being selfish. I have dreams. Sir, I'm calling security. Call the police. Call the president. Robbery is happening here. He started army crawling under tables. A family with young kids quickly left. An elderly couple asked for to-go boxes. One woman was FaceTiming someone, showing them the scene. Brenda tried to grab him. Keith, get up. This is embarrassing. Embarrassment is watching your brother succeed without you. I work at a water treatment plant. With lottery money. Security arrived. 2 guys who looked deeply tired. Keith went limp. They had to drag him out while he kept screaming. In the parking lot, he made one last stand. Laid down behind my car so I couldn't leave. Run me over. Show everyone what kind of brother you are. The security guard just said, Sir, we have your license plate on camera. If you don't move, you're getting arrested. Keith got up, brushed himself off like nothing happened and said, I'll remember this when I'm successful. He drove away in his 2003 Altima with a bumper held on by duct tape. The kicker? 2 days later, his business partner messaged me on Facebook. Turns out Keith had already pre-sold escape room memberships to people, promising a grand opening next month with money he assumed I'd give him. About 20 people at $50 each. Now he's being sued for fraud. Though our cousin Brenda did send me the video she took. Keith, spread eagle on asphalt, screaming, this is your fault, while a confused teenager in a Chili's uniform stands there holding a walkie-talkie. I keep it saved, you know, for when he eventually claims this never happened.